And so it was that we discovered a beautiful island, which we came to call Española, and which the natives called Haiti, or mountains, and Quisqueya, mother of lands. And the people were guileless and beautiful, devoid of wickedness, obedient and kind. Sharing they coveted not, neither were they greedy but delicate, built poorly for labor. Into this land of the meek came our Spaniards like ravening beasts, terrorizing, afflicting, with methods of torture never seen or heard before, to such a degree, I believe, that a number of 3 million persons in now not in excess of 200 and in less than 50 years. Who will believe it? More than 30 other islands, similarly emptied, land ruined, in a mad search for gold, people thrown into slavery, whole nations destroyed on the mainland. I imagine 15 million Indians unjustly killed. These Spaniards behaved so shamelessly that Indians hid children and wives, saying, such men could not have come from heaven. They cut Indians to pieces, sparing no one, and with such abandon that I feared for our souls, removed from laws that govern men in civil nations. They became worse than brutes. Indeed, the war dogs were kinder. For they killed to eat and did not so loudly enjoy itself. Of the survivors, the Spaniards made slaves. Men died in the mines and women died in the fields without time or place to come together. The milk in the women's breasts dried up. Infants perished, and thus was emptied that place where once had been so many. And this is a translation by Corinne Wood, Professor Corinne Wood, on one of the poems written by Bartolomé de las Casas in 1542. And Bartolomé de las Casas, Fray Bartolomé de las Casas, is going to be the person that we're going to be looking at during this week. And first I want to say thank you. Thank you for being in this course, and thank you for the work you've done, and thank you for, wow, your resilience during these times of upheaval and crisis, health crisis that the whole world is experiencing. And so I just want to say hello and acknowledge all the hard work that you're doing to stay focused and stay on the game, and doing whatever you can to continue to thrive and continue to learn and study amidst everything else going on. So for this week, we are going to be looking at a couple of things. We're going to be looking at this poem, which was written by Bartolomé some, I would say, 30 plus years after he arrived into the Americas, especially the Caribbean, and then later he moved to South America. We're going to be reading the introduction to Lawrence Clayton's book, published in 2012, on Fray Bartolomé de las Casas, a biography. And we're going to be looking as well at two quick videos on Bartolomé de las Casas, some sort of 6 minutes each. And so far in the course, we've been looking at different areas or aspects of the Americas and how were they envisioned by the different protagonists and subjects who were either already in the Americas or who were coming into the Americas. And so we've looked at the historical visions from the perspective of the United States, both from the European perspective and both from the indigenous perspective. We've looked at enslavement, the visions of enslavement and the effect that it had on the Americas. We've looked at the religious visions of the Americas. And Bartolomé de las Casas, and this next module, which is on Latin America, visions in Latin America, we're going to start with him because it serves as a bridge, right? Fray Bartolomé, he was a friar. And so we're coming from the module of religious visions, and we're going to look at and see what were his visions when he came to to the Caribbean, the Hispaniola, Haiti, the island that right now is known as Haiti and the Dominican Republic. That's where he began. And the indigenous people who lived there were the Taínos. He later goes to South America and also advocates for the indigenous people of South America. So we're going to be looking at what were his visions when he came, both religious visions and humanitarian visions. We're going to be looking at what did he stand for or against. And we're going to look at how his visions moved, evolved to be well transformed during his time here. And what Bartolomé de las Casas did was no small feat. He stood against the powers that be at the time. And some 400, 500 years afterwards, Bartolomé de las Casas is very well researched and written about because of the impact that he had in history with his visions for freedom, human rights, and the end of slavery. So enjoy this very brief week, and I will be in touch soon. Take care. Be well. Oh, one last thing. So I've been encouraging all the students to really take on the task of making masks if you don't have masks. As we know, with this pandemic, masks are essential, and I'm in Puerto Rico right now, and in Puerto Rico, we're all kind of required to use masks, and not only those who think they are infected or who have symptoms, because as we know, the propagation of this virus is mostly through people who are asymptomatic. So I'm encouraging students to really make their masks, since they're very hard to find, and you'll get extra credit for that. So that's the other piece of this module, and it will be there open. If you get other members of your family to do them, you'll get extra credit for that. Do some selfies of you or of the mask or of people in your family, and wear them. You will also have to do a little bit of research about how to keep them disinfected and clean. And there are many models of different masks that you can make. And so the creativity is up to you. Be well, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.